Here tonight in our final event on the card at the Sam Houston Coliseum, we will have a battle for the U.S. American title. This match brought about because of a series of incidents that happened with the spoiler kind of ousting Wahoo McDaniel from a promised battle with world's heavyweight champion Harley Race, and then Wahoo McDaniel forcing the issue with the spoiler. But Wahoo is here, and Wahoo is set and ready. And tonight is going to be an important night, right, Wahoo?
Well, Paul, it's a stepping stone. If I don't win the match, then, I go backwards. I go down the ladder. And I've been talking, and I've got to back it up now. And a lot of people say, well, he's going to get his chance because he's as good as he thinks he is. Well, I don't think I'm the greatest wrestler in the world, but I think I got the biggest heart. I got enough talent. And I know that I have beaten Harley Race more than anybody. Now, the spoiler is a tough individual. He's got Gary Hart on his side. He's got a lot of things working in his favor. But if I win the match, I win the title or win the match, then I've got to be the number one. They bypassed me with an injunction, a bunch of court stuff. I didn't scream too loud about it because I knew down the line I was going to have to get a shot sooner or later. Now, I need this win badly. I think everybody knows this. I think you know it. I know it more than anybody. And Harley Race, I know he's sitting somewhere. He's anxious. He wants to know what's happened. But I'm going to tell you something, Harley. You don't have to waste a dime calling down here because you'd probably call collect. All you're going to have to know is you're going to have to meet me sometime, someplace this year, somewhere in the world, preferably right here, because I guarantee you one thing. These people have been great to me. I've wrestled here on and off for 7, 8 years now. They have stuck behind me. Even when I got, I've had low points too, I get discouraged. But with these people backing you, I guarantee you it's hard to get discouraged, and I'll tell you one thing.
You don't look discouraged now.
Oh, I'm not. I feel great. I just took a week off. I've been training. I got some sun. I've been working out real hard. And I didn't want to come in here half ready, tired, run down. I want to be ready because this is it. I've got to win this match. It's a must. It's like it's the Super Bowl. I've got to get there. There's no second chance. Right. I've got to win the match, and that's what I'm planning on doing.
Wahoo, that's a beautiful thing you're wearing there.
Yeah, I got that Mr. Marks. Yeah. And but Indians like shiny things, and that U.S. belt.
Like U.S. belt and World Championship belts.
That's right. They're shiny and gold and silver. And Indians like shiny things, and I can't think of a better waist to have it around than my own.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wahoo McDaniel, who tonight makes a bid for the U.S. American title and whose constant challenge to world's heavyweight champion Harley Race is going to have to come to a head, but a loss tonight could set Wahoo McDaniel back and remove him from the list of contenders, something that Harley Race would like to have happen, believe me, most devoutedly. He wants to place Wahoo McDaniel behind him, not ahead of him. Up in the ring right now is Boyd Pierce, ready to introduce this event, so let's pick Boyd up.
Introducing your main event evening for the American Heavyweight Championship. First, your challenger, 260 pounds from Midland, Texas, Wahoo McDaniel. And across the ring, Playboy Gary Hart presents from Singapore, 270 pounds, the American Heavyweight Champion, the Spoiler. Your referee, Danny McShane.
So Wahoo McDaniel steps in against the Spoiler. Spoiler known for his claw to the head, which has the name of the Iron Claw. And he is one of the few people who uses it to tremendous advantage. Spoiler one man and Fritz von Erich another. And Fritz's family coming along in the same tradition of using the hold their father made famous. Wahoo McDaniel, a perennial challenger, yes, but also a serious challenger for the world's heavyweight title and a challenger for the U.S. American title in this particular match, with the hope that he will be able to prove that he should have the next chance at Harley Race, the world's heavyweight champion. So with referee Irish Danny McShane trying to get everything squared away, and the call for the bell. This one for 2 out of 3 falls. The 60-minute time limit is enough time to settle an argument, and Wahoo McDaniel is making sure of where he has spotted Gary Hart. In this particular case, Hart in the corner where the men came into the ring. And both men feeling each other out. You've got to be careful with a man like Spoiler. You cannot, under any circumstances, take him lightly. You will find yourself flat on your back if you do. I've had a lot of arguments with the manager of the Spoiler, Gary Hart, but I have never found reason to low rate the quality of ability of the Spoiler. And right now is a point in proof. He is a man who can use those ropes with a dexterity that would make a man half his weight proud. But he can literally walk from one corner to another on that top rope. And right now he's walking all over Wahoo McDaniel and leaving knee prints and footprints that are going to have a telling effect in the outcome of this match. Fans hollering for Wahoo to get up and take care of himself, but at this stage of the match, Wahoo has been belted down to the canvas by the huge weight of the Spoiler and the size of the man. So Wahoo, who is a slow starter, notoriously so, is in danger of losing this fall even before it gets started. A difficult spot for a man who has challenged champions and given them the battle of their lives. So outside is Wahoo, and Spoiler intends to see that he stays there. As a matter of fact, he didn't rest until he had him splattered on the canvas. Impatient Spoiler trying to keep Wahoo groggy, and Wahoo catching the punishment around the head where it takes longest for it to go away. Once those cobwebs start developing between the ears and you catch blows like that, everything rattles around on the inside of your head, and Spoiler senses an opportunity here now as he lays into Wahoo McDaniel, and the Indian is on the outside watching that count of 20 and trying to make the most of it, but he could, of course, even be counted out of that ring if enough of those blows take effect. Wahoo McDaniel just caught one squarely in the head. That headbutt was a tough blow to take. And as Wahoo now squirms on that canvas, he's in trouble. He is in bad trouble. The continued punishment around the head followed by the headbutt, and Danny McShane is suspicious of what may be happening underneath that mask, whether there is something underneath that mask that would knock Wahoo's head open, because his head is knocked open and he is bleeding badly exactly from the location of that
Spoiler! Claw! Spoiler! Claw!
And now the Spoiler calling is responding to Gary Hart's call for the claw hold, and Wahoo McDaniel fights his way into the Spoiler, trying to minimize the effects of the grip on the head, a head that is bleeding already. And a big effort by the man with a big hand, but there is a tomahawk chop, and the first one that Wahoo has been able to throw in this match. Trouble now for Wahoo minimizes to some extent as he is able to fight his way out of this predicament. But Wahoo's down, the blood is running down his face and into his eyes, and as he's put the stopper to the claw hold, he must not only block the claw hold, but he must find a way to reverse the thing and give himself the advantage. He did the right thing then. He smashed that hand down on that top turnbuckle in an effort to weaken it and to thus make that claw less effective. So Wahoo may be a slow starter, but he is piling on punishment that could make him at least the punishing equal of the spoiler. Wahoo pounds down there in telling fashion. Literally, that guillotine blow as he smashes across the back of the neck with the edge of the hand. So Wahoo's impatient. He's the man in the ring this time, and he is the one who wants to give his opponent no opportunity to recover. Oh, instead of going for the high-level blow with the edge of the hand, he came underneath and drove it in. An unexpected blow from the standpoint of the spoiler, who had raised his arms with the looking for the chance to do something about it, to block it. But he is catching it in all directions now as Wahoo McDaniel methodically starts to do a chop-up job on the U.S. American champion. And chop up is the word, because that chopping blow is Wahoo's most punishing. Oh, those blows are sounding off all over this Coliseum on both sides. The gloved right hand of spoiler hits hard and makes a dull sound, but the bare fist of Wahoo McDaniel and the bare hand make a loud popping noise. And so does Wahoo when he hits that concrete. Into the turnbuckle, into the ring post rather, and there is no way to minimize that particular blow. Outside, Wahoo. Spoiler with those long arms of his, adding to the punishment he has already inflicted. And Danny McShane tried to prevail on the spoiler to move back away from the corner and give him an opportunity to come into the ring. It's a big foot, and this time it's Wahoo McDaniel who does something about getting his opponent out of the ring and catches it in the meantime, and oh, you can see how determined the Indian is. And oh, man, there was the prime blow of the night. And spoiler is on the receiving end. And Wahoo McDaniel takes the chair that was almost used on him. And he is stalking that big man, trying to make sure he doesn't recover from the effort. Both of them aware that the count could catch him on the outside. Neither man wanting to be counted out. Perhaps each hoping that the other would be. And Wahoo goes for a back body drop. Oh, man! What a tremendous crashing fall. But spoiler was not counted down. I don't know how he withstood the tremendous force of that blow. But as the Indian drops in this time, he is not able to find his target. Here goes Spoiler for his favorite effort. Driving wallop, and he clobbered him. Spoiler on top. We could have a fall. We've got a fall. The first fall in this battle for the
first fall,
U.S.
8 minutes, 49 seconds, the champion, the Spoiler.
Battle for the U.S. American title, and the first fall goes to the Spoiler. You see Gary Hart rubbing over that gloved hand and examining it. And Spoiler might well hold his head. He caught a barrage of blows that must certainly leave their mark on this big man. We'll be back here in a moment as the Spoiler recovers, and we'll first have this word from the studio. Well, the few seconds remain before the end of this intermission period, and there's the bell. Wahoo did not rise to his feet. Spoiler did during the intermission. And he is now one fall ahead. It's a far better position to be in, particularly when you are the champion. You get that fall ahead and make the challenger fight for it. But that chop across the nose and the mask nose, that could change the course of this match. And Wahoo now using the energy he tried to conserve as he stayed on his knees. Still dripping blood all over this blue canvas, but he is interested now in tearing off that mask and working on the mask of the spoiler. Spoiler again, climbing that rope and driving off the rope. And he goes for the claw hold and pours it to him. The iron claw of the spoiler. Wahoo underneath now. Here's these fans and spoiler trying to pour down with that gloved hand. He also reaches over referee Danny McShane and grabbed hold of the top rope that time, using that top rope to hold his balance and to force his way in there. And this could, of course, contribute to Wahoo's downfall. Gary Hart says he's the man who hit the rope and made it shake. And Wahoo doing something that is rare when spoiler manages to get the claw on a man and get him down to the canvas. And that is to be able to rise to his feet. Spoiler now confident with his best hold being worked. And Wahoo trying his best now to open the mask of the spoiler. He is fighting the claw, but he is also giving the spoiler something to worry about. And he got out of the claw. And that is of paramount importance to the outcome of this battle. The fact that he got out of the spoiler's best grip. And Wahoo McDaniel is going to give the spoiler something to worry about by working on that mask. Spoiler trying to put on the claw in reverse position, and it didn't work. And we may have the spoiler now with his mask off here as Wahoo McDaniel gets the laces loose and starts to work on it. Driving tackle did not work, and the spoiler sprawled all over the turnbuckle and against the ring post. But he hit with his shoulder, which is a bad break for him. Oh, man, the tomahawk swung around there and literally took his head off. So Wahoo has been hurt, but he is up and after him, and he knows that the spoiler is injured too. Spoiler has to be in a bad way. That last blow, there he is, tearing away at those laces, and he knows the effect that this has on any masked man. The masked man will fight to keep his mask from coming off. But here comes Spoiler, looking now for the effort off the top rope, at which he is so good. Wahoo McDaniel goes after the swing and the, oh, again, swung that blow, and it's Wahoo on top. There it is, 3 count, and falls are even.
The winner of the second fall, 3 minutes, 53 seconds, the challenger, Wahoo McDaniel.
Wahoo McDaniel takes the second fall with that tremendous chop of his. And here we've got Gary Hart, concerned again with the gloved hand, the claw hand, if you will, of the spoiler. Hart has left Spoiler, and he's going out of the ring. Gary Hart moving up the aisle and in the direction of the dressing room as Spoiler now stays. We'll be back here in a moment. Let's have a word first from the studio. Well, the Spoiler has not yet risen to his feet. Those chops that caught him were tremendous. The falls are even in this battle for the U.S. American title. And Spoiler, you can see him rubbing where it hurts the most. He caught him across the head. He caught them
15.
Across the neck. And Wahoo McDaniel is anxious to move in as 10 seconds remain in this intermission period. 2 minutes between
5 seconds.
falls.
4,
And
3,
Spoiler is looking
2,
for an extra minute.
1.
And you see Wahoo's answer as he waves away the finger of Irish Danny McShane. 4, 5, and if he had not risen to his feet, this match would have ended. And Wahoo McDaniel goes after the mask. Spoiler went after the claw, and Spoiler was not able to grip the head of Wahoo. He tried, but he couldn't. You see him with a mouthful of mask as they swing back and forth. And Wahoo trying to follow up the advantage. And Wahoo is a tough competitor in the pursuit of any man he has injured. There he goes for that claw hold again, and Wahoo is able to snatch it loose. He managed to get rid of it, and here again, Spoiler with Wahoo in the corner, a position that should have enabled him to pour the juice to Wahoo, and there was no effect on Wahoo of the claw hold that time. Spoiler again using his artistry at working on those ropes. This time coming from a position on the middle rope, and it backfired against him. And Spoiler's hold is not working, and Wahoo McDaniel is working. He's working on the mask, and the Spoiler just bears down with half of it in his teeth. And there goes the claw hold again as Spoiler in desperation reaches out there to take a handful of Wahoo's head. This time he came down and ripped it across the eyes of, I would say that's rosin if you were to ask me. That he is rubbing rosin on his hands. I don't know any law against it. Everybody in this place probably figures that it is absolutely wrong, and the Spoiler now, as he comes out, gets the head of Wahoo McDaniel and puts a tremendous squeeze, and this time Wahoo is not breaking it with the ease that he broke it before, but he is managing to chop the Spoiler into a position where he cannot apply the necessary leverage. A great effort by Wahoo McDaniel, but he is still caught in the claw hold, and that could spell the ultimate outcome of this scrap as he starts to work on the face of Spoiler, looking, and he is succeeding. He is turning the mask of the Spoiler. He is managing to turn it, and he does not want to release the claw hold. His mask is in trouble. He has Wahoo McDaniel in trouble. He is pouring it to him, and the referee has finally pulled him away, and he has grabbed Gary Hart. He has grabbed Gary Hart and pulled him into the ring. Spoiler with his mask completely turned around, and he's trying for somebody, and he is not able to see where he's going, and he's got Irish Danny McShane in that claw hold. He has already put it on Gary Hart, and pandemonium has literally busted loose here as Wahoo McDaniel starts coming to the aid of referee Irish Danny McShane. That's Bronco Lubitsch now coming in to try to replace Danny McShane, or to aid and abet him. But as Wahoo goes after the mask, the Bronco call for the bell. He is trying to raise the hand of Bronco Lubitsch, of Wahoo McDaniel, in a disqualification win over the masked man. And this is bound to be an empty victory because it will not give Wahoo McDaniel the championship belt. Ring announcer Boyd Pierce has been blasted away from the announcer's table and has not been able to get to the microphone. Wahoo has been hit by the by the microphone, I believe, and the decision is going to be a disqualification win for Wahoo McDaniel.
Once again, the winner of the match on disqualification, Wahoo McDaniel. However, championships cannot change hands on
Wahoo
disqualification. Still
McDaniel won the
American
match,
heavyweight
but he
champion,
did
the
not
spoiler.
win the U.S. American title. And that is the way this one goes down in the books. And they are working around over Wahoo and referee Danny McShane. And you can bet that the spoiler is going to need some working over too.